Hey, okay. Hillary Shelton of the NAACP. Hillary, you were in the audience to hear President Obama talk about issues of fixing the gun violence that has been so prevalent in this nation. He said over the last month, 900 people have died at the end of a gun. What say you about his efforts with executive orders and his push to get Congress to act as well to also come back with an assault weapons ban?
Let me say first, we appreciate the process. The NAACP is involved with the Vice President's task force on gun violence from the very beginning. Several meetings with his staff, the Vice President, President of the NAACP, Benjamin Todd Jealous, to make sure that as we move to address these problems, as the world was focusing on Newtown, to make sure they wouldn't forget Chi-Town. And indeed, we were just delighted to see that they get it. They recognize the problem of gun violence is one that in the African American community, we have more African American males between 15 and 19 that die as a result of gun violence than car accidents, diseases, or other problems altogether. So indeed, we know it needs to be taken on. So listen to what he's talking about as we begin a process of limiting the number of bullets that can be in a clip. We still remember well in the African American community the drive-by shootings with the MAC-10s and the AK-47s and the Uzis and the other semi-automatics with the extra long clips that allow them to shoot as fast as their finger will squeeze, killing as many people that are in the path in that sweeping militaristic type motion that's done along these lines. So we're happy to see that the President is moving using his authority right away, recognizing and understanding the challenges that we're going to have with the Congress, that you have some very strict ideologues that say no kind of control over guns at all, but recognizing that controlling in a sane, sensible manner the guns that are available on our streets is something that we can count on. That doesn't undercut the right to bear arms, but making sure that people who shouldn't have guns don't have guns.
Has the NAACP engaged in any kind of dialogue, as you talk about from Newtown to Chi-Town, has the NAACP had any kind of dialogue with the NRA by any chance?
We have had dialogue with the NRA and raised these issues. The NRA has staked out their position. We were pleased they at least listened to what we had to say or gave us time to hear the words that we were speaking. But if you look at the policy, sadly and unfortunately, being advocated by the NRA, it seems to be a policy of scapegoating. Anything but the gun is the problem. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Not realizing that people with guns, with large capacity magazines and clips, kill an awful lot of people. And we have to find ways to address those concerns. So we'd love to sit down and talk more with the NRA and work out a sane, sensible approach to this problem that has had such an astronomical effect on our communities. Everything from, of course, our little children, even to hospitals in our communities that close because most victims of gun violence don't have insurance. And those hospitals found themselves spending billions upon billions upon billions of dollars taking care of the wounded, and probably one of the most preventable diseases or afflictions that we have in our society.
And lastly, was the NAACP part of the discussion with the President on his efforts with gun violence and the Biden task force?
Absolutely. We've spoken with the Biden task force on several occasions. Several members, the Vice President himself, and others. So indeed, we've had an opportunity to speak with them, and they understand what our concerns are. As we move ahead, we want to make sure that we can make our schools and our communities safer and secure. We recognize the challenges inside those school walls, but as you know, in our communities, the biggest challenge is getting from the door of our homes to the doors of our schools. So all that has to be included. All that was discussed with the Vice President's task force, and all that must be part of the solution.
Hillary, anything else you'd like to add?
I think that the most important thing is that we take this issue on recognizing that a core set of standards have to be put in place to provide the protection in our communities. Those law enforcement officials have to be well trained, and we have to do everything in our power to keep guns out of our schools altogether. Stop them at the door and make sure we can create that great constructive learning environment that our children need to go on for generations to come.
Thank you so much, Hillary Shelton. Thank you.